Writing effective cold emails is not an easy skill to master. And the cold email follow-up is even harder. What do you say in message 2, 3, 4? How many follow-ups should you do? How do you get customers that haven't responded to finally respond? That's what I want to talk about in today's video. This video is brought to you by Email 10K. Learn how to book meetings with billion-dollar brands and take your company to the next level at email10k.com. But first, there are several reasons why your first cold email might not have received a reply. Maybe the prospects were busy. Maybe you didn't say the pitch correctly. Maybe you emailed them at the wrong time. Or maybe you're emailing people that would never buy from you in the first place. Now, while the fourth reason needs to be tackled in the lead generation process, the first three can be handled by you right now by following up effectively. By the way, I see you watched this video, but you're not subscribed yet. Make sure you subscribe down below to get all of the latest content about cold email, lead generation, growing your agency, growing your SaaS, and everything in between. So make sure you're subscribed down below and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Here's how to write a cold email follow-up. First thing you need to do is provide context for why you're reaching out. You need to tell them why you know them, how you got their info, all that sort of stuff needs to be addressed. Because remember, you're cold emailing people. These are people that you haven't met before. They have no context for who you are, what you offer, anything like that. They'll write an email like, hey, I'm just bumping this up. Did you get a chance to look at my offer? And then there's no context below. You have no idea what their offer is. You don't know who they are. You've forgotten about them before you even acknowledge that they exist. Like, what are you talking about? There's no context here. So you want to make sure you have the context of the pitch in every follow-up. And the way that I like to do that is by following up with a reply to the previous email in the campaign. That way everything's in one thread, it seems natural, and you don't have to worry about too much context. If they need more context, they'll just click those three little magic buttons that expand the email thread, and they can read everything that you've sent up until that moment. You also want to include a call to action in your cold email follow-ups. It's important that the buyer knows exactly what you want them to do after reading this email. Are they responding to a yes or no question? Are they booking a meeting with you? Are they clicking a link? Not recommended, but that could be one of your goals. What are they doing? By the way, if you want this in a ton more detail, I would check out Email 10K, which is our course on how to grow an agency with cold email. You can do that at email10k.com. We've got a ton of scripts in there, including all of the follow-ups that we use to book meetings with billion-dollar brands and golden goose companies. Here are 5 useful pointers for your follow-up emails. Number 1 is keep it short. My favorite follow-up is one that I'll send pretty quickly after the first email, within a few days or within a week. And it's a simple bump or, hey, making sure that this didn't get buried. Something like that to move the email up in their inbox and draw attention back to the original cold email. If your follow-ups are too long, nobody's going to read the past emails you've sent. Another useful point here is to make sure that your emails are relevant to the prospect. As relevant as you can possibly get them, whether that means writing your emails from scratch or what we do, writing the email specifically for the niche. That allows you to do things like the 2 ideas email, where you can send them relevant ideas that you know their brand is struggling with because you've talked with dozens of other people in the niche and you know what those issues are. Another great thing to do in your follow-ups is to include social proof. That means talk about your case studies, talk about a result that you've had in the past for a company similar to them, or a big win or big meeting that you're excited about. For instance, if you met with the CMO of another major company that they might know, now it seems like everyone's talking to you, and so they're going to be more likely to respond. You can also add value, like we talked about in the 2 ideas. So let's say you're emailing agency owners like we do at X27. You could say, hey, here are 2 things that agency owners do wrong and easy fixes. 1, your call to action on your website isn't easy to click, and you have too many forms to fill out in your lead form. The solution to this is to have a 2-step form where first they put in their name and email, which is very easy, and then you can ask them all the questions about budget later. That allows you to follow up with the unqualified leads to get more information and still preserve that lead quality. That's just idea 1, right? I'm coming up with that by talking to people in the niche. And then idea 2 would be similar. And you want to keep it logical. All your follow-ups should be logical. They shouldn't have missing context. They shouldn't require people to know who you are. And they should work as emails. They should also work, like, let's say you're at a networking event. If you read what's in this email to somebody at a networking event, would they walk away? If so, maybe the email's not worth sending. Don't send that email. Reword it until you'd feel comfortable saying it out loud. By the way, if you want any of these email scripts, you can check out email10k.com. We have everything outlined for you there. Now, how many follow-ups should you send? Well, there's no simple answer for that because once they respond positively to a cold email campaign, If they're in, I'm going to keep chasing them down until I get a yes or no. That could be unlimited follow-ups. If they're a brand new prospect, I'm only really going to send about 3 cold emails on top of the initial. So 4 emails total in the drip. Usually it's that initial email, then a quick bump, like a quick follow-up. Then I'll send the 2 ideas email or big news, big announcement. And then the 4th one would be a breakup email. Something like, hey, Mark, at this point, I'll assume increasing the conversion rate on your website and getting more customers is not a priority this year. Please feel free to reach out if that changes. Look forward to working together. Thanks, Alex. And that's all you basically need. Once they respond, you can continue the conversation and follow up forever. If they don't respond, then I would move to a different person in their organization if you still want to talk to that company. If you are emailing multiple people at a company, I would wait until the entire sequence is complete with one person before moving on to the next one. And just because somebody turned you down right now or didn't respond to an email now, that doesn't mean they're dead forever. They're gone forever. You can email them in 6 months. Reach out to the contacts, go through the entire sequence, and then in 6 months, if you want to try again with this prospect, maybe with a different email, maybe with the same email, depending on what you're doing in 6 months from now, you can just add them back to the list and keep contacting them. This brings us to length of time. How long should you wait before you follow up? Typically, the first follow-up I'll send 2 days after the initial cold email. Then the second follow-up is 4 days after that one. Then the third follow-up is a week after that one, 7 days after that one. And then the fourth follow-up is 2 weeks after that last email. This gives you a sequence length of about 1 month total and gives people more than enough time to respond if they're interested. The reason why I send them on odd days is because you want to hit them at different dates and times. That way, let's say you're always emailing Monday at 10 a.m. The prospect might not be around their email inbox Monday at 10 a.m. Maybe they have a meeting at that time. So it doesn't matter how many follow-ups you send Monday at 10 a.m., they're never going to respond. That's why usually we'll send emails on different days, different times, and try to get them when they're looking at their inbox. If you want to have access to Email 10K, grow your agency, and join this community of awesome people, then check out email10k.com. There's also weekly calls with me included, so if you want to talk to me, this is the only way to do it. That's email10k.com. Make sure to like this video and subscribe down below, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. I'm Alex Berman.